Hello, super audience. I'm Maggie Q. It's nice to be with you. I finished 2 films this year. I start a new one in January. I launched an activewear company this fall in the US. And so it's been an incredibly busy year balancing film and television with my new business. So it's been the busiest year of my career this year. It began 20 years ago in Hong Kong. I was going to a concert with my best friend, and there was a woman sitting in the distance, and she had a table in front of her with some papers, and she told me that she worked for an animal rights group in Asia. And I actually started laughing because at the time, 20 years ago, no one was fighting for animals in Asia. You know, there was a very few people. And I said, how do you do that in Asia? She said, well, we're starting, we're trying. And she said, do you love animals? And I said, yes, I do, but I had fur coats and crocodile bags and all these things, right? So I said that I loved them, but the truth is my actions were the opposite.
Right.
It wasn't love that I was expressing. I loved my dogs, I loved my cat, or whatever. But true compassion and true love is an extension that is further than yourself, and it's further than the things just in your life, right? Compassion should extend all the way to every living being. Otherwise, it's quite selective, right? I don't want to contribute to more suffering in this world. I think there's so much suffering that goes on, and I don't want to be a part of it. Well, I've been fighting for endangered marine mammals for 20 years, and so one of the biggest killers of the biggest predators, sharks, whales, in the ocean is ocean plastics. They're actually killing them at a rate that's faster than we can clean the oceans. There's no regulation about what we dump into the oceans. The oceans is way too big for us to police it. So what we need to do, instead of regulating, because it's almost impossible, is we need to use that waste for a different reason, different method, so that it's not going into the oceans. And that's one of the reasons why the brand was created. My company is called Keep Up with a Q, and I wanted to figure out a way to create a brand that would allow more awareness about the pollution that's happening in our oceans. And so we created a brand made out of post-consumer waste from the oceans, recycled plastics, and those recycled plastics we spin into yarn, and we actually use to create the fabrics for our line. So our line is literally made out of waste, ocean waste. And so, you know, the thing that we're trying to do is we're trying to educate consumers that if you purchase products that are made from waste or that are a recycled entity, you're doing something good for the environment. So you can be a consumer, but also make a positive difference.
Right.
At the moment, fashion is one of the most wasteful industries in the world. And so we're really just trying to create business around doing something better. Our slogan is mind, body, planet. So, you know, typically we always talk about mind, body, and soul. And our truth and our reality of the people who created this brand is that the planet is our soul. And if we're not caring for it, there's a really big part of us that we're ignoring. And so we want to encourage people to look at their soul as the world around them. I would say socially it's more difficult, but I have found that in my life anything that's easy is really worth nothing. Everything that I love I've fought for, you know, my career, my company, my friends, my family, everything. It takes 2,500 gallons of water to produce 1 pound of beef. That's a lot of water. If you produce potatoes or vegetables or grains, it's 200 gallons for a pound. And so it is very significant, the difference. So, you know, with the populations increasing in the world, unfortunately we're playing catch up now. You know, we should have thought of this earlier, but now there are generations of people who have to pay for our mistakes. I don't think that's fair. So in my lifetime, I want to do whatever I can to be able to leave a world to my nieces and nephews that there was as much as I could have done in my lifetime for them. I think that as a collective, if we all try we already start to change the consciousness.
Yeah.
So trying, I think people deserve credit for trying.
Mm-hmm.
No one has to be perfect,
Mm-hmm.
but trying matters. The world of the young. The young are the only people who are going to turn this around,
Mm-hmm.
what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They're the only ones with the intelligence, the ingenuity, the passion, and the drive to see things change.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a lot of the kids now standing up.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something I would have done at their age. It's a totally different time.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the world of the young and the young of the world. Right now, it's their moment. So it's interesting that you nailed that so perfectly, because they truly are the answer.